And there, I finally finished the Lego movie videos. This is a big deal for me. I was able to successfully commit to starting and seeing through to the end of my own big YouTube retrospective. And now that I'm done, I never have to think about these movies ever again. What's happening on the internet today? What? Huh? No, no, no. I can't escape. I can't escape. Ugh. What? Oh, thank fuck you're finally awake. Who? Who are you? Where am I? Oh, I'm the devil, and this is hell. You died of a stroke because you saw that they announced the Lego Movie 3. And, that's kind of inconvenient. But at least I don't have to make a video about these Lego movies ever again. Yeah, about that. Oh. So, what happens if I die in hell? So, what's up, Gamer Nation? Say hello to my new setup. Now, I recently actually moved to hell, which is totally not a background I found on Google, dickhead. So I guess if I want to end the great Lego Movie 3 curse, I must talk about these movies one final time and give my thoughts and feelings about the announcement of a third Lego movie and what I want from it. And honestly, this announcement kinda came out of nowhere for me. I mean, I knew that Universal now had the rights to the Lego movies and that we would be getting new films, but I was sort of under the impression that WB only sold but I was sort of under the impression that WB only sold Universal the rights to make movies based on Lego and not Lego movies per se. I thought that Warner Bros. Still owned the rights to Emmett Wildstyle. I thought I thought Warner I thought that Warner Bros. Still owned the rights to Emmett, Wildstyle, Benny, etc. Heck, heck, heck. That's why I thought the Unikitty show lasted so much longer than the other movies. Heck, heck. That's why I thought the Unikitty show lasted so much longer than the movies. However, they might still be owned by Warner Bros. And this might be some kind of collaboration, because the first cast member announced is Will Arnett as Batman. So yeah, I have no goddamn clue. So yeah, I have no goddamn clue what. So yeah, I have no goddamn clue what to think anymore. But let's ignore all the legal. But let's ignore the legal confusion and get to what I want from the Lego Movie 3. The biggest flaw The biggest flaw in LM2, an otherwise great movie, is that the side cast from the OG movie is sidelined hard. President Business just disappears after the first 5 minutes. The dad only has one line. I actually don't think Scribble Cop has any lines, and Ghost Vitruvius isn't even in the movie. And that doesn't even cover all the master builders they forgot about. Wow, I got really harsh there. I like this movie. This isn't a big problem in the second part because this isn't a big problem in the second part because this isn't a big problem in the second part because the type of movie it's trying to be is so different from all other Lego movies that it's sort of fine that the non-essential character that it's sort of that it's sort of fine that the non-essential cast don't really get that much representation. But going off of the assumption that this movie would go back to a more, I don't know, traditional approach, then I feel like this then I feel like it's a given to give the side cast a bigger role in the plot. Also, and this is a lot more out there, but maybe we could get some characters from the other Lego movies? You know, like the Ninjago movie ninjas, Unikitty's brother and friends, and maybe, just maybe, if WB is really in on this, could we possibly get some peeps from the Lego Batman movie? Just some food for thought. So both of the mainline Lego movies have a plot in the real world that is happening alongside and influences the story in the Lego world. I think this time around I think this time around the real world story should be Finn outgrowing Legos. I think this time around the real world story should be Finn outgrowing Legos when he goes off to college. So yeah, I want to make a Lego Toy Story. So yeah, I want to make the Lego Toy Story 3 movie. Maybe if we Maybe if we want to switch it up, we could make it so that he keeps his Legos instead of giving them away. But because this plot line is going to be secondary to the main Lego plot, I don't think anyone would care. Okay, let me rephrase that. No one of importance would care. This just makes this just makes total sense to me. I mean, Jaden Sand is 19, and the last two movies focused on one of his parents. And the last two movies focused on one of his parents, and ending the trilogy with him being an adult. It just seems too obvious. Like, obviously, this isn't a prediction video, you could tell that by the last section. Like, obviously, this isn't a prediction video. You could tell that by the last section. This is just what I personally want. But out of all the predictions in this video, this is the one that... But out of all the predictions in this video... But out of... But out of all my desires in this video, this is the one that I think could... But out of all my desires in this video, this is the one that I think is closest to being a prediction. Hell! Oh, sorry. Heck, I expect them to do that. We could bring back the bin of storage to feed into the new plot. And now that I think about it, this would fit in the bigger role. Now that I think about it, this would fit in the bigger role for side characters section, but maybe we could bring back the dad. Now that I think about it, this would fit into the bigger role for side characters section, but maybe we could bring back... It gets so close, but it's... And now that I think about it, this would fit in the bigger role for side character section, but maybe we should bring the dad back into the spotlight. So it would kind of feel like we've gone full circle. Ever since, oh god, I don't know, the Lego Batman movie, I've had the feeling that the mainline Lego movies have been holding back the overall franchise. Even though I love the mainline Lego films, they have a very specific aesthetic that they can't really get out of. And I feel like that aesthetic also limits what the rest of the series can do. Stuff like the insane self-referential humor of Batman, or the insane realistic art style of Ninjago, but they can't really go that far with it because they're being held back by these movies. These films, for again, as much as I love them and their spin-offs, keep Lego Batman from going even further with the meta jokes. It keeps LEGO Ninjago from having an even more distinct art style. Maybe something based on Chinese paintings, think Monkey Kid, but 3D. We could finally get other new original LEGO movies not based on a pre we could finally get other new original LEGO movies not based on a pre-existing franchise. It just makes sense, you know. It just makes sense to cap it off as a trilogy. From an artistic perspective, I need to emphasize that if we look at this from a monetary point of view, it would probably make the most sense to make a LEGO movie 4, 5, 6, 7. But this isn't the Universal executives writing this video. No, no, no. These are minds. But this isn't the Universal. But this isn't the Universal executives writing this video. No, no, no. These are my psychopathic thoughts. Actually, going off of the non-success of LM2, then it might actually be less financially viable to make more mainline LEGO movies. It's actually really weird how that's the reality we now live in. Yeah, this is probably the biggest shoo-in on the list. Obviously, this is the biggest way to make this movie successful. Obviously, the non-marketing campaign is why LM2 failed at the box office. Although, even though that marketing scandal was one of the most historic advertising flops in animated film, admittedly, there are a couple things that I do want to carry over from the previous movie, such as replacing the Blu-ray covers with Lego figures. This was fun. It was cool. Deadpool did it better. Also, they need to run the entirety of the Lego Movie 2 as an ad. This has to become a tradition. But obviously, we all know Lego Movies 2 marketing, not the best. So let's look at things we could correct. First, we generally need more commercials and trailers, but that's incredibly obvious. Going a bit deeper, the Lego sets themselves. The original Lego Movie theme lasted up to 2015, a full year after the film came out. Lego Movie 2 sets ended in May. Not saying, let's say if this movie comes out in 2025, that there should be sets up to the end of the 2020s, but toys like Lego are one of the greatest ways to extend your marketing campaign. At the end of the day, I'm very excited for LM3. I mean, I have no reason not to be. We know nothing about it so far. And if even one of the things I propose comes true, then I think this movie's pretty well off. And as long as Lord and Miller are on the project, I don't think I'll ever have a reason not to be excited. So there, is that enough? Talking about the Lego Movie 3? You did it! You freed us from the curse that has plagued our land since at least 2014. Yeah. Is there something bothering you? I just think, maybe I was too harsh on the Lego Ninjago movie. No. What? No reviewer is ever allowed to change their opinions on something they already talked about. That's a sin, even in hell. Oh shit.